So these are the 7 laws, what we have called is the law of success, right? If you incorporate these 7 laws into your life every day and work on it, then there's synchronicity in your life. The first law of success, and this is based on Deepak's #1 selling book, which used by leaders, CEOs all over the world, is the law of pure potentiality. And what I did this meditation is to go into silence, is for us to really spend the time every day to figure out who you are. How do you kind of otherwise get to know who you are, right? So the goal today is to operate in a space from where you are truly stopping, you're observing, you're actually taking care of yourself, and then you're making decisions from this space. And this is really the essence of what we try to do, at least in the Chopra Foundation. We get you to kind of get to a place where you can meditate, find silence throughout the day, find some times in your day when you can stop. Spend some time to meditate and then stop judging. Just observe. The biggest burden we have in life is being right. So if you can just be silent, meditate, and not burden yourself with making judgment, you then basically tap into the space called infinite possibilities. And that is an important aspect of one of the things I want to talk about today, is how do you kind of build this kind of space and actually, for success, there are 3 principles which are guaranteed. You got to be authentic, you got to have integrity, and you got to have higher purpose. That's the law of pure potentiality. The second law we're going to talk about is, change? Okay. The law of giving. And this is something, it's called giving and receiving. And this is something which we practice. Once again, what we have to do is to keep it as part of your daily routine, is you reap what you sow. And this is everything in the universe today, everything in the system we live in is basically transfer, right? If I stop breathing, you'll die. If your blood doesn't flow, you will actually, once again, not circulate. Once again, even when it comes to money, it is the law of giving and receiving, right? You give love, you receive love. You give happiness, you receive happiness. You teach people how to make money, you actually receive money. So I love this conference because a lot of the people over here, it's a given. They're all sharing their ways of how they're going to give. And when you give, you will receive. So actually building every day, looking at what am I giving? What is my superpower? How am I actually sharing it with my community? And this is the law of giving. And when you give, the universe kind of conspires to make you wealthy, make you happy, make you joyful. And once again, you have to build giving into your daily routine. And if you look at any religion, any culture all over the world, giving is a very integral part of their journey. The third law, which is the law of karma. And karma is a word which is used in Eastern wisdom philosophy, but it's called cause and effect. It's basically every action generates an energy. It creates, you reap what you sow, right? If you reap happiness, if you sow happiness, you reap happiness, right? But once again, when do you do this? The most important thing today is people really to understand that every action they do has an equal and opposite reaction. So one of the things I talk about is how do you kind of look at really making happiness, joy, and cultivating joy as part of your daily life. Once again, making cause and effect as part of your daily routine, right? Building it as part of your execution, part of your success strategy. The law of least effort. This is an interesting principle because when you actually are struggling, sometimes when you're actually working through something, a project plan or something, you're like, this is really difficult, this is really tough. The universe actually is effortless, right? If you look at a fish doesn't need to know how to swim. Grass doesn't need to know how to grow. Birds don't need to know how to fly. But if a fish tries to fly and a bird tries to swim, we have a problem, right? So understanding what is your true nature, so it's literally called the law of least effort. Accomplishing everything by doing nothing is to really then understand how are you fine-tuned as a leader, as a person, is to understand your core beliefs. And this is really an important thing about knowing who am I. Right? Who am I really taps into understanding what are some of the things I can do easily. What comes to me at ease, what is easy. The other principle on number 5 is the law of intention and desire. And this is an interesting thing because we talk about attention, right? That which you put your attention on grows. If you put attention on money, that will grow. If you take away the attention, it's going to disintegrate. Put attention on love, that will grow. If you don't put attention, it'll disintegrate. But for attention to really manifest long term, you need to have intention. And intention is the transformative power or energy which transforms things. So once again, attention and intention go together to really create success long term. The sixth law is law of detachment. And detachment is an important aspect because from our perspective, when you say love without attachment to outcome, it's like going for a job interview and saying, I want to raise the stock to $200. That's really my goal. That's really not a good principle. The goal should be, I am going to do X, Y, and Z things. And by the way, I'm going to do the best I can in that. And the outcome is the outcome. I'm going to detach from the outcome. So if you do things without attachment to the outcome, with intention and attention, but detached, then there is synchronicity. There is magic in the universe, right? There is unpredictability. You're not basically, when you become attached to anything, then you're actually, you're kind of, I would say, suffocating things. You're actually stuck to a model which is never changing. You're conditioned to old paradigms. But the goal of law of detachment is to let infinite possibilities happen to you. So really, from my perspective, it's like blue ocean thinking. So really practicing law of detachment. And the last law is the law of dharma, or the law of purpose. It's like when you said, who am I? I think today in our schooling system or during my MBA, my engineering, nobody's ever asked me the question, who am I? Right? Everybody in this room is born, is a spiritual being having a human existence, and there is something you can do better than anyone else in the world, guaranteed. Right? You just need to find out what it is. Because you have an ability, if you probe deep enough, you will find that superpower in you. Once you find that superpower, the next thing you need to do is to basically figure out who needs it, who is my community, who is my sangha, is it good for humanity? Let it go. And the universe conspires to make it happen.